Sisters over misters, bros over you fill in the blank. All these phrases have done is create demise in the black community. Let's get into it, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Chelsea's Live Line. I'm so excited to see y'all tonight. Make sure I hit that like button if you haven't already, and we're going to get this show started. Today's episode is called, Why Can't Black Women Just Get Along? In previous episodes, I have told y'all that black women have the hardest time getting along for whatever reasons. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure that out. But we're going to dig into it because there's something going on right now. There's the toxic sisterhood where women are putting their girlfriends over their man, over their spouse. And we know that's extremely toxic and that they shouldn't be living that way. But since they are, we're going to address it and talk about really the types of female friendships you shouldn't have based off of previous experiences I've had. Okay, when you think somebody is your friend, but they're really a foe or they're a frenemy. Okay, we've had those friendships and we've learned lessons, and that's the most important part about it. So we'll get into that tonight. And shout out to Dinah for being here. I appreciate you so much, sis, as well as Mona. Yeah, shout out to you, girl. I appreciate you for being here as well. Thank you. And I see the rest of the comments. Auntie Tracy in the chat, and Mona says hit that like button, so please do that. Thank you to my mods. I appreciate y'all for being on top of it and showing that genuine support. That's all I ask for on these YouTube streets because I don't have beef with folks, but if they talk about me, that's because they want to talk about me, not because I'm participating, okay? And that's what we got to realize in life is that some folks we're not just going to be able to get along with, and that's just the way it is. You cannot force it, and if it's forced, it's not fruitful at the end of the day, okay? And sometimes everybody ain't your bro, and everybody ain't your sis, and that's why I'm going to be getting into that in just a bit, because people be so quick to throw out these titles, but they live in a false life. Let me tell you, they're smiling in your face all the time. They want to take your place. Backstabbers. Backstabbers. OJ said it best, but I had to sing it for y'all tonight because it just don't make no sense how these people could be for you one second and against you the next. But that's how it is in the world today. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna get it together today. So anyway, happy Black History Month, y'all. It is February 1st. I got my shirt on, Harriet, Rosa, Maya, and Michelle, squad goals. That's what I'm repping tonight. So happy Black History Month to those who are celebrating. Make sure you learn some history, because I had to put somebody in the past like history, okay? Because folks can't be in your life nowadays. They don't know how to act right. So I had to put some black folks in history, literally, the other day. So that's why I'm just letting y'all know. Learn y'all history and love on y'all folks. Love on y'all people. Be genuine, because that's the best way to be. And I want to give a shout out to My Pride Apparel for the t-shirt. You can check them out. I'm going to put their link in the chat. And we'll go from there. Yes, shout out to Theo for being in the chat as well. I see you. Happy Black History to my folks. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Gail for being in the chat. I appreciate you. And Boiled Rope Lamppost. Shout out to you. Okay, I see you. As well as Tia. I think these are new people, but shout out to anybody who has subscribed for the first time. Y'all here for the first live, second live, third live, or you've been A1 since day one. Okay, because I really appreciate that. No matter where you come from, how far you've been supporting me, I appreciate it so much, and I'm thankful that y'all are here. And she said, too busy engaging in cliques and religious sanctimony. Okay, something going on. It don't make no sense, but we're going to get into it tonight, y'all. Thank you for being here. So, yes, I'm going to get started first by giving a shout out to my brother in Christ real quick, Dre Harrison. He actually is a teacher at the school called the Stapleton Lighthouse Community School in New York. And he actually has a campaign going on right now. So he's trying to raise money for his class's future video podcast. They're creating a class and he needs some help with supplies. So I made sure to donate today. And if you can, please do the same, because why not support? And I hope this link goes through. I don't think it will, but so long. But let me see if I can get a shorter link for y'all in a bit so y'all can donate to him, because he's trying to help the students show off their gifts as far as their leadership and their communication skills. And he's really passionate about helping the youth, as you can see. So definitely make sure you support him. I'll send out the link in just a bit and y'all can definitely get access to that. So I'll put that in the chat. But definitely, it's about that 365 Black history all day. Definitely. All right, let's get into today's episode. A shout out to Aunt Carolyn as well for being here. Yes, I appreciate you. All right. Why am I doing this topic? I'm going to get into the word of the day first, and then I'm going to go from there. So the word of the day is coming from Proverbs 18:24, NIV, which says the following. One who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin. Okay? But there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Remember, they said there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Not a sister, no, I'm playing, but for real, no, there are friends that stick closer than a brother. And I'm just going to be getting into this particular verse because I feel like it's very important to have brothers in Christ and sisters in Christ. But I feel like we should be helping each other instead of just going into isolation and say, forget you, I'm going to cast you off to the side because whatever reason, I just think it's fake and phony. And we need to call it out. So that's why I had that verse. We should stick together as a community. Why not? All right. And I'm going to get into basically this lady here. It's a lady who is a friendship therapist. And she's talking about female friendships and what is going on right now when it comes to female friends. So let's take a look at this clip as we get started with the episode.
As a women's friendship educator, one of the subjects that I am probably unsurprisingly most questioned about is the subject of jealousy. In fact, if you search female friendship on Google, the phrase is often coupled with the word jealousy. And while I go into the details of all of that in the latest episode of my podcast, I do think we should spend some time talking about the difference between envy and jealousy in your female friendship because it makes all the difference. Now, I know the words are often used interchangeably, right? Like synonyms, but there's something that's a little bit different and it comes down to a number. Envy involves 2 parties, jealousy, 3. If you are envious of your friend, it's because you desire something she has, 2 parties. But if you feel jealous of your friend, that means you have this friend and you fear that what you have is going to be threatened by an outside force, some kind of interloper, some intruder. I will say both are natural human emotions, but for now it's important that you're able to differentiate.
Yes, and shout out to Mona. She says she likes her content. So I just got hip to her today as I was doing research for this episode, trying to figure out female friendships and if really Black women, do we get along well with each other? Because I know that it's uncommon to have handfuls of female friends nowadays, it seems like. And back in my grandmother's day, shout out to my granny for watching, but back in her day, she said that she had lifelong friends. Lifelong friends. And I'm just trying to figure out the difference between the friends back in the day and the friends now. I'm really trying to figure that out because it's a huge difference. I feel that people think they're living that McDonald's lifestyle where they can have it their way or it's the highway. But y'all don't do that for the men that mistreat y'all and abuse y'all and mistreat y'all and abuse y'all over and over and over again. Y'all don't do that for them. So why are you so quick to throw away a female friend per se? I'm not saying sisterhood, toxic sisterhood, but I'm saying just a female friend, because you should be able to get along with some females, and that's the hardest part. Thank you, King J. Sean. I appreciate you for being here. And he says, good to see you looking healthy. See, that's the only way, okay? Me and Mona be getting it in. Shout out to my people who be working out at that gym. Y'all wasn't with us shooting in that gym. Okay, those results y'all will see this summer because we're putting in that work right now, okay? And shout out to Christina for being here as well. I appreciate you, and I hope that you're doing well, especially with the weather down there in Dallas. I know it's a lot going on right now, but thank you for being here. The relationships and friendships are not the same way they used to be. I think it's because the phone has a lot to do with it, saying, okay, if I don't have a female friend, I can be able to get this validation from online. Like there's outlets that people can use more so now that they didn't have access to a long time ago. I think that's the reason why we see friends as disposable. But whenever I sign up for a friendship, I'm in this for the long run. I'm thinking lifetime and long term. But some people are just thinking about different motives, different reasons, and there are actually differences between friendships. You have the slow burn, which is, hey, we may not talk every day, but when I see you, you know, we doing our thing. We can check in every now and then because I know you got a life, I got a life. So I'm not going to be over here expecting you to fulfill a role that I know I should be able to fulfill. Like, for example, if we busy, like most of us are, we should not be worried about somebody else not being consistent with us because we have to respect people's boundaries. Respect that people have a life outside of y'all friendship. That's the first thing. Me and Mona, we already know we have to schedule our workout. I'm literally going to be sending her a text tonight. So don't worry. But I'm going to be sending you a text because the thing is like life happens. We're busy. We're working. You're a wife. You're a mother. You have responsibilities. You know, that's what happens. And we have to deal with that. And that's the same thing with anybody. Know your role, stay in your lane. That's the most important thing you can do. So that's the thing. Even my cousin Michaela, she's in high school right now, and she's dealing with girls that are supposed to be female friends of hers. Talking about, can we take a break? And I'm going to get into the lessons I've learned because one thing I don't do, look, if you ask me to take a break, it's not going to be a temporary break. It's going to be a permanent break. Okay? Forever. I'm going to hear about you through an external source later on in life because I'm not going to be bothered with you. We don't do breaks over here because there's no reason, especially if I haven't done anything to you. You hit that block button on me, baby, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about a thing. Okay? because it's over. It's a wrap over here. That's what I'm saying. Like, people don't, you have to be careful. A break. Like, what? This is the lingo they're using nowadays, and I'm so confused because they're not rap the same anymore. I don't know what it is, but I think that we can say it's social media. I don't understand. I don't know if it's a Proverbs 22:6, training up a child in the way they should go and they will not depart. I don't know what it is. Something's not making sense. That's what I'm saying. Are we dating in friendships? Because that's what the first thing I said when I heard that. But anyway, I'm going to read on Tracy comment real quick that says, I think if a woman says she doesn't have any female friends, she should take a look at herself and why that is so. Exactly, because I have nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with having female friends. It's really not. And if you are constantly getting into friendships and you're constantly breaking them off, talking about there's a reason and there's a season. There's a reason and a season. No, there are some friendships that you've cut off in a season that were meant to last a lifetime. Okay? There were some friendships that you cut off in a season that were meant to last a lifetime, but because you were not mentally stable in that season, you cut them off. Just because they told you what you were doing wrong, you cut them off. That's a personal problem. Don't blame it on a season. Blame it on a reason that your mind is acting fickle and phony. Don't blame it on a season. I'm like, everybody come up with that. It's a season and a reason. Now, some friends are meant to be there for a long time, but you need to be patient. You need to figure out what's wrong with you so you can understand that it ain't about them. It's about you, boo. Okay? It's about you. That's it. Whew. Let me breathe, okay? King J. Sean said, I don't take that title friend lightly. If we're solid, we're solid. I got your back and expect the same. That's it. If I call you a friend, if I call you a bro, if I call you a sis on my end, it means what it means. It means what it means. I don't have time for games. I don't know who has time for games. This is not high school anymore. This is not the Mean Girls movie where we think we can do whatever we want and say, oh, you can't sit at my table. You can't do this. You can't do that. We are grown people. And at a certain point in time, it's got to click for you to act right. Because when you know better, you got to do better. And if you don't, you're a dummy. I don't get why some women will say, I can't have female friends. Yeah, you can't have female friends because something wrong with you. Okay, something wrong with you. That's what I feel when people say that. And Christina said, I've gotten cut off completely when I have told them an uncomfortable truth about themselves. They don't want to hear it. I have had friends of mine who I have forgiven, right? I've forgiven them. And then, for example, let's say that they had gained weight and they're trying to figure out what to do to lose weight. So I said, hey, maybe get into some water aerobics. And then they'll say they have a disability where they can't do that. And I'm trying to tell them, maybe try this, try that. Just trying to help them. Because let's say you look at their Instagram story and then they expecting you to say something. They saw my story and didn't say nothing about my struggles. So when you say something, they will cut you off. Just like they say sometimes you can't tell your women friends if their man is doing something inappropriate, right? Like if their man is cheating and you saw him out somewhere, you don't want to tell the female friend because they don't want to hear from you. If they hear from you, they're going to cut you off instead of the man who did them wrong. What does it take, ladies? I'm not for the sisterhood because a lot of that stuff is very cliquish. Like Tia said earlier, it's very cliquish and I definitely don't mess with that. Jermaine said the following, I don't understand why the sisterhood is taken so strong or so string over everything and everyone. So strong over everyone. Probably so. Okay, but yeah, definitely. I don't know. What's up with the sisterhood thing? He said some women just don't want to be bothered with other women because they don't want the cattiness. Yes, and I'm going to be getting into the types of women or types of female friendships I no longer desire. I will be getting into that in just a bit. But what I'll do at this moment is actually play a clip where a lady was saying, be careful when women want to call you sis so much. I know we do that because we're talking about brothers in Christ, sisters in Christ, but be careful off the rip when people throw those titles at you and don't mean it. When I call somebody my sister, once again, I mean it. When I call somebody my brother, I mean it. But I actually have recently gotten that term after being called it so much, it's been stuck in my head and I've been calling people that. And then it made me sit back and evaluate, how can you call me sis on a Friday but then block me on a Tuesday? How can you do that? That's why I'm just so hesitant about the people that I associate with, because when I collaborate with folks, I'm hoping that those folks can be people who can last a lifetime, but that's not the case on these YouTube streets. I don't have time for old folks with drama. I don't. So if you hear about me again in drama, then you know it's just them. It's their problem. But let me get into what this lady had to say about women calling her sis, because she was mad.
And I can imagine, when someone calls me sis, hey sis, or, what's up with you sis? Like, for me, it just reduces like who I am and all that I have the work that I've done to become who I am. And even if you don't know me, I feel like calling me sis doesn't enter a space for you to really get to know me more intimately. Like you want to sum me up as your good sis.
Right. I just like keep that energy though. If you're gonna call me a sis, then act like a sis. If not, then I'm just gonna consider you sus and say peace because you dust to me. Sorry, I just don't have the time. That's why I don't know. But like sometimes women do have male friends for other reasons, but I feel like the men, they lead with the logic. They're just gonna call it like it is, tell you how they feel. If you accept it or not, that's on you. But the men are more logic. Just imagine two cats fighting against each other. It's just not a good look. It's not a good look. And that's what a lot of women are looking like. They love this toxicity with the sister circles and the sisterhoods and the queens and all this. And it just doesn't make sense. And that is the cattiness. That's the cattiness. I don't have time for it. The next thing what I'm going to do is just get into some of the lessons learned. Yes, they sus moan. I'm telling you. I'm just telling y'all folks, be careful of people who could keep overdoing that sis term. That ain't acting like a sis behind the scenes. They bringing the bone to you and then they carrying the bone to other folks. I don't do these episodes for nothing. So you'll see. Y'all will see what time it is up in here on these YouTube streets. Everybody ain't meant to be trusted. But I thank y'all for being here. I thank y'all for showing me love. I thank y'all for being genuine because you didn't have to be here. And I try to support those who support me. And I just thank y'all from the bottom of my heart that y'all are genuine people. I really appreciate that. I really do. Yes. My mom's texted me saying, your Auntie Carolyn said hello. I said hello to Auntie Carolyn, Ma. You got to listen better, Ma. Anyway, okay. Oh, okay, definitely. Let me get into these real quick. Let me get into my lessons learned when it comes to why black women can't get along, right? I'm going to get into it. Lessons learned. Let's do it. Let's do it. Thank you, Jermaine. I appreciate y'all for real. Lessons learned. One, I am not giving permanent titles to temporary people. I'm not doing that anymore. I can't. Just like you give the sis title to somebody you have to retract it back from. You give bro title away from somebody you have to retract it away from. If I call you a friend, then if that has to come to an end, then it's just not genuine for me. If I sign up for friendship, if I sign up for relationship, I think long term. So I'm not going to give that permanent title away to temporary people. See how these people move a little bit more than a couple months so you can understand how they are. Look at them behind the scenes because people will just feed you with so much thrill and so much cheerfulness when it comes to, they compliment you. They give you that flattery that you want, right? They give you that flattery, but behind the scenes, they are looking at you and waiting for your demise. That's why you have to be careful about what kind of titles you give to folks because you don't want to have to revoke that title from them. Be careful. Yes. They have that competitive spirit. They compete with each other and bring that mess to their man. This is why some are single as French toast. Okay? With the syrup on the side. Yes. Seriously, some are single as French toast because they're competing with other folks. And at a certain age, Jermaine, women should not be doing that anymore. They should not be competing against these women. Because what? Like, that's high schoolish vibes. Okay? So don't be giving these permanent titles to temporary folks. That's the first thing. The second lesson I've learned is that I don't demote, I delete. Let me tell you, if I go from being a CEO to a janitor, why would I stay at that company? The same thing. When somebody was a friend of mine and they've shown themselves to not be a friend anymore, they are nothing anymore. They are deleted. I'd rather not save you in my phone as a contact than have to delete you later. That's how I feel. Be careful who you give your number to. Be careful who you associate with. Be careful of going from business to personal life as well. Because when people enter into those other realms and they see you doing things that to you is just like nothing, right? But to them it's like, oh, they're into this, they're into that. They got this watching, they got these people, they got that. People will become envious of you over the smallest things. Be careful of who you enter into your personal court. For real. Because those folks may have something against you that they don't have. It could be the simplest of things, right? The family life, the fact that you're a wife, the fact that you're a husband, the fact that you got it going on, the fact that you did something they didn't do in life. Maybe you got education and they never did. It's the smallest things that can make somebody become envious of you that is like nothing to you, but it's something to them. So be careful of that and keep the area separate, the business separate from the personal. The personal separate from the recreational. But I don't demote, I delete. And that's how it is for me. So, for example, if somebody wanted to be, they were my boyfriend, now they want to be friends. We can't do that either because I let you enter in where I was vulnerable. You mistreated me, and for some reason we're not together now. The relationship ended. There's no reason for you to fall back as a friend and receive friend benefits because you got to realize when you get promoted, you don't want to get demoted later on. Stay in your lane. And if you're not ready for the promotion, then stay where you're at because I'd rather you be there than not be in my life, period. But it's up to you. I give you the opportunity to make the move. That's on you in this lifetime. Yes. I'm learning that little by little. When people see you trying to make moves, their true colors come out. I'm like, it be your brothers and your sisters in Christ. It's very scary. And I I've been seeing this early on in life. That's why I'm trying to warn folks what time it is. Seriously, like people watch videos, they don't like them, they're watching right now, they look at you. And shout out to Auntie Ebony for tuning in as well. They smiling in your face. I already talked about it. The backstabbers behind the scenes, they don't want to see you doing good outside of this. Like you can do this YouTube thing, but you can't do nothing else outside of that. You can't have fun in life. You can't do this, you can't do that. Who are you? You hypocrites. Okay, I'm just trying to keep it real here. You hypocrites that want to call people out for doing something outside. Like we can compete in this space, but if I'm doing better than you in this other area, oh, I can't fool with you. I got to bag up out of this because I can't celebrate your achievements. Be careful of the friends who are looking some type of way when you celebrate your achievements. When you celebrate your achievements. And shout out to Auntie Ebony for being here as well, if I didn't say that already, but I've just been going on here. Just saying that it don't make no sense. Dinah said, I'm like that. Once I cut someone off, I never look back. I'm not always proud of that. It depends on the situation. Yes. And see, that's the problem. Yes. Delete. They gone. I don't demote. I delete from my life because there's no purpose of you being here to be sitting on the sidelines, clapping for the other team. And then every now and then you clap for me. No, if you're going to half-a do it, figure out which door you in, on the left or on the right. But you're going to have to figure that out tonight. All right. Always be snakes in the garden. Yes, right. But what I did, matter of fact, just the other day, I prayed to God that he would remove any friendships that were not for me on my life, any distractions that were stopping me from my mission in life, to remove them. And literally yesterday, I'm getting blocked by folks that I ain't did nothing to. That's how God works. Just pray on it. That's what I do. I don't pray on folks like Prey. I pray for folks. I pray for the removal of these folks because a lot of people are so focused on the addition. But I focus on the subtraction sometimes too because we're always focusing over quantity. We're always focusing on quantity, but we need to look at the quality of those folks because some of these people are not meant to be in our lives. Period. They were never meant to be in our lives, but because of the boredom, okay? Because of whatever factor it may have been, we've landed in these scenarios with folks that don't mean us any good long term. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In high school, we cared about the quality of folks. When we didn't. We didn't. Some of us did, some of us did. But in high school, we cared about the quantity. Who's going to sit at my lunch table? But let me tell you, for example, Michaela's in high school right now. Let me tell you, Michaela, my cousin, that look, you don't have to focus about people talking about they want to take a break from you. Realize that that's a blessing from God because breaks are breaking you away from that situation. It's breaking you away from the toxicity that you know you don't have to be involved with. Know that you're a good friend. Continue to do what you do and the right people will be able to attract towards you. But don't be trying to figure out, like we over here trying to be Einstein, figuring out the reasons that people are removed from our lives. But most of the time, it's just because God saw something that he wanted to save us from, right? Quality over quantity. Yes, a tear is a tear. It's in the book. You got to cut them. You need to cut it. Look, cut it. Cut it. Skirt. Cut it. The price is way too high. We need to cut it. The price of that relationship is way too high. You need to cut it. The price of that friendship is way too high. You need to cut it. We need to cut out what doesn't seem right, and we don't need to be like Einstein figuring it out because it's not our responsibility. We will have so much stress on us if we worry about why they remove themselves, why this, why that. Accept what it is. And cut them off and don't look back. KL, here you go with the jokes. KL said, I don't even trust myself. I keep putting this chocolate in my shopping cart when I'm not looking. Yeah, watch that chocolate. If it's dark chocolate, do you, right? Do you, but everything in moderation. I ain't gonna say don't get your chocolate. If you deserve it, you deserve it. And Aunt Tracy said, that is so true. Some people want you to stay in struggle mode. And when you make it out, they are not happy for you, but rather envious of you, right? That's why I gave y'all the definition of envy. which is when somebody wants something you have, versus jealousy when it's more so maybe you have a good friendship with somebody else and it's not to the level of that other friendship you have with that person. Now they're jealous because of the fact that, hey, y'all friendship is better than theirs, right? That's how that goes. Quality over quantity. And Menelik, shout out to you for being here. Did God remove every acne? Because your skin is looking flawless. No blemishes. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's called, you got to have a routine. And that's why I try to keep that up, because skin is extremely important. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Hit that like button if you haven't already, because that dark chocolate is good. Happy Black History Month to my folks out there. And we're going to learn something today. So those are the 2 lessons so far. I'm not giving permanent titles to temporary people. And I don't demote, I delete. Because like literally every female friendship that I've had, those women removed themselves out of my life. I didn't initiate it. I did not do that because, again, I signed up for long term. Thick and thin, through thick and thin. Has anybody remembered that saying? But that's what I believe in. Same thing, like all my female friendships, they cut it off. That's on them. And I don't look back from there. And I don't even like care to reach out to those folks because that was up to y'all. It may hurt. It may sting. But at the end of the day, God has something greater for us. Sometimes those doors have to close, because just imagine if we're opening and closing and opening and closing these doors, we'll never have the opportunity to pay attention to the door that has been open this whole time. And that's what we got to realize. We're distracted. All right. Let me talk about the types of female friendships I will no longer have. I've learned some things just recently. I'll tell you about the types of female friendships I will no longer have. Number 1, I am not dealing with women who think they know it all. I'm tired of that. I'm so tired of that, because women want to claim that they're grown, they're so grown, but you're really grown when you're dead. And let me explain what I mean when I say this. You're grown when you're dead, because when you're living things grow. Shout out to Andre for that. Dre Harrison for that one, from Harrison Family Values. When you're living, you grow. So don't be claiming that you've grown when you ain't finished growing, developing, learning, becoming better, because there's always room for improvement, no matter what age you are. So be so quick to say, oh, I can't learn from somebody younger than me. If you young, you don't know about this. You don't know about the Bible. You're a baby Christian. Well, we all have to start from somewhere. You ain't just come in being elite of the elite. You ain't sitting in the pulpit. So obviously you still got some work to do anyway, because everybody does. But for those who want to call out to my baby Christians like you weren't a baby at some point in time yourself, hypocrite. Everybody starts from somewhere, because I don't care how much you recite. It ain't about the reciting. Is about the actual application. I don't care how much you reciting, because everybody want to speak in tongues and this and that. But y'all, if you can't apply it, then I don't care how much you know. That's it. Because if you want to talk about God, you talk to God all the time, but you mistreat your brother and your sister in these streets, then how are you helping him? You know what he talks about: love God first, and then treat others how you treat yourself, how you would want to be treated. That's what he said, but we don't know how to apply that. Okay, I'm not talking about recitation. I'm talking about the application. That's important. So don't deal with women who know it all, because Proverbs 28:26 tells us this: those who trust in themselves are fools. So KL said he didn't trust himself. Okay? Those who trust in themselves are fools, but those who walk in wisdom are kept safe. Walk with the wise and you'll become wiser. But when you've been doing this stuff for all these years and you think you know something more than somebody who's younger than you, and nobody who's younger than you can tell you anything, you are in the wrong place, because I'm trying to teach those who are my age, who are younger than me, and hopefully older than me. I see everybody, all different age ranges here. So I appreciate you having enough wisdom to come over here and learn something from a different perspective. Thank you. But if you trust in yourself and you don't think anybody can tell you this, and that you don't want to listen to recommendations, and you think you just know everything and you wise because you read the Bible every day, no, you don't know everything. You got something to learn. I don't care how much you do that. Don't fool with women who think they too fly and don't mess with mud ducks. One will always compete with you, and the other will envy. I don't know why this is, but it is the truth, sis. Ooh, don't fool with women who think they too fly and don't mess with mud ducks. Oh, Lord, help us. Hey, shout out to you, Successful MD. I appreciate you for being here. I really do. Mona said, I always tell Chelsea to teach me, young woman. I'm an old young woman. And I appreciate you, Mona girl. Look, it's all good. It's all good. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, the older women are supposed to teach the younger women. But some of these younger women were never taught by older women. Then they become older women that don't want to be taught by no woman. Shout out to Vina for being here. I appreciate you. But that's how it's supposed to be. Titus 2:3-5 tells us that the older women are supposed to be respectful, reverent, and they're supposed to teach the younger women how to be. But how can that be when they never saw the example that they needed to see? How can that be? How can that be? We get stuck in our ways as we get older. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to get stuck, and I don't want to say I'm grown. You know, we couldn't wait till we were 18 years old. So we could be able to move out the house and do this and do that. And we realized that what came with that was more responsibility. What came with that was bills and so many other things. And now you wish you could have been young again. So don't be talking about I'm grown because as an excuse to say I'm not listening to anything anybody else has to say because I've reached my full capacity. And there should always be room for improvement, always be room for growth. And shout out to Jesus Loves You for being here as well. I do see you in the chat. Thank you, sir. Christina said, I'm an older woman and many of these younger women don't want our wisdom. See, that's another thing. Exactly. It is so sad. Younger women think they know it all as well. So it's like, who we going to learn from? Like, we can't learn from each other because we don't want to be friends with each other. We can't learn from the older women because some of them want to be young. We can't learn from some of the older women because we don't want to listen. There's all these different scenarios that y'all pointing out tonight, right? Jeez, that is a good point though, because younger ones don't want to listen because they think they want to learn on their own, do experience. And I'm telling you, why not learn from those who've been where you're trying to get at? Some older women are the victims of lies their mothers and grannies told, and they've been embedded in them. I agree with that now. They have been embedded in them. They're passing those down. And so sometimes it's the new wisdom that needs to shed light. Right. And be discerning, right? Guard your ear gates, guard your eye gates. That's so important. And that's what Bella was saying. Bella Ring, shout out to you. But definitely, it's the new wisdom sometimes. Because we don't have enough women's ministries telling us women what our value is, telling us how to be wives. We don't have that. And that's why I try to listen. For example, Mona says she's trying to learn from me. I'm trying to learn from her because she's a wife. I would like to be a wife. I'm going to look at her as an example. She's not only a wife, she's a great mother. A mother who is raising children right now. 2 sons, literally, that are at the top of their school district. Okay? When it comes to grades, all A's. Mona and her husband are both doing that. So of course there's so much to learn from. How are y'all doing it? Daughter has it going on too. Like the whole family is just great. And just being able to learn from somebody who she's calling herself older, but you get what I'm saying? Older than me, at least. I can learn from her. And I'm not afraid to do that because she's where I would like to be at a point in my life. Hello. What's wrong with that? Why can't we learn from somebody? Look, Jermaine has been in a steady marriage for years, 18 plus years, right? That's another example. I would love to look at him and Nikki as an example of what I would like my marriage to be like. Beautiful children. Got it going on. Well, Christina is a wife. Vina is a wife. I would like to learn from these women. Like, don't be afraid, young women, to learn from somebody who's at where you're trying to be at in life. One day. It may not be now, but you can take those tips. And I know you have something you can give to them as well. Yes, I'm telling you, we could just give like the kudos to everybody in the chat. Everybody has something we can learn from. So shout out to y'all for being here. Shout out to y'all for being willing to learn and grow, because we're not grown, we are growing. Hopefully in the spirit, we're growing holistically when it comes to our health, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. Okay? Just saying. I'm going to keep it going though. Again, I'm not going to deal with a woman who think they know it all. I'm not dealing with that. What I'm going to do next is talk about the second type of woman I would not deal with when it comes to female friendships. Dealing with women who don't have other female friends or no healthy family relationships. You don't get along with any of your family members, but for some reason you call me sis. Get along with them first. It's a hierarchy. Family, then friends, and then, go from there. But if you beef with all your family members, you disrespecting your family members, you talking about them, you calling them out, why would I not expect for you to call me out and disrespect me? And like I said, you bringing a bone to me and then you're carrying that bone back elsewhere. I would want to be bothered with that. And then a woman who doesn't have other female friends, what happened? Tell me about the history of your female friends. Why can't you get along with women? But you want to be friends with me for what? Because it seems real transactional. Okay? Seems real transactional right now. I'm going to play some clips Because there's actually a woman that's talking about how young folks are usually the women that usually compete. Young folks are the competing type. And I want to get into these clips and we'll kind of discuss them from there. Let's do it.
Women, when you're younger, compete. That's what you do. Same thing with men. People don't want to admit it. But when you're young and fertile and you know, that prime mating age, everyone is competing, whether you want to believe it or not.
Yeah, you heard her. This is from an older woman. That's why I wanted to get clips from different perspectives. And one thing she said was that younger people usually try to compete, but at a certain age, you got to turn that off. You got to turn that off. And this is where another woman said some of these women are just too old to be in these toxic friendships that they're supposed to be in.
You're old, you're old, you're old. I'm assuming you've got to be at least graduated from high school. And if you're not graduated from high school, let this be a lesson learned for you. If you are above the age of 23, you need to be on your grown woman stuff. 25, no excuses. No excuses whatsoever. Seriously, a lot of times, the reason why you don't get along with other females is because of you. Not because of them, because of you. Because you do your stupid catty crap. You do your envious stuff. If you want to stop all of that stuff, then you just freaking stop. It's not that hard.
It's really not that hard. So stop making excuses. Exactly. We have to look in the mirror sometimes to see that we are sometimes the problem. You can't keep blaming everybody else for the trauma that you're bringing to these friendships, expecting voids to be filled. For example, I can't be your therapist. I can recommend you to go to betterhelp.com, but this is so transactional. You come to me for your problems, but you don't listen to me when I have mine. You don't. So transactional. Doesn't make sense to me. You're too old to be beefing with women. And pay attention to that. Because I don't know if I wrote that one down or not. I haven't written that one down. But this is what I'm about to say right now. Pay attention to females who are older, who are always in beef. Why are you always in beef? Why are you always, this person did this to me, this person did that to me, I don't deal with them, oh, be careful, go on this side. You know, we already got that stuff going on in the Christian community where you got to be on one side, you got to be on this side because they don't say something about somebody and you don't want to be canceled by them, so let me go on that side with them. And you got this other side that says this. Don't we all believe in God? Why can't we get to a consensus here? Why can't we do that? We beefing that side versus that side. What? This is not, like, what is it, segregation? I'm so confused why we have so much beef. We believe in God and we are so hypocritical where we're making sides. We're making further division amongst God's people. And then those who are not Christians are looking at us Christians like we're fools. Always into something. Always. What are your accomplishments? What are you trying to do? But I just don't like that, especially when you're older and you're always in beef. You're always exposing somebody. Like, come on now, we're too old to be doing that. Come on. If you find somebody always in situations, you're going to get into the midst of that and you're going to try to figure out how to cut it off. If they're in drama before you, they're going to be in drama when you with them and drama when you finish with them, if you get finished with them. But sometimes people get tied up in these situations and I don't like to stay in drama and beef. I'm very peaceful over here because that's the only way you should be. And shout out to Christina. She said on April, I can't even talk. Shout out to Christina. She said on February 27th, Ray and I will be married for 36 years. Wow. Let me give a shout out to Christina. 36 years? Y'all been putting in that work. I don't know why I said April. I don't know what I'm thinking about here. But on February 27th, a day after my mother's birthday, shout out to y'all. 36 years. What? Give them some love in the chat, y'all. All these marriages, even Mona was like 12 years. They putting in that work. Don't know. Like, this is what's up. This is what's up. This is what I love to hear. The fruitfulness. Because you do see how a person is based off of their fruit. Okay? What they've accomplished in this lifetime. Yeah, but be careful of things. We too old to be beefing with folks, especially women. And sometimes you're going to settle down. When you get into that mother status or grandma status, you don't want to be beefing with folks. Well, we still got this beef from 1952. What? Some people will do anything for attention, even if it includes deceit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Everyone is scared to expose the ugly truth. I see y'all in this chat. It's happening on YouTube right now. Oh, yeah, it's happening on YouTube. I'm experiencing that. Like I told you, I just got blocked the other day by people that was calling me sis last week. because I couldn't get back to them quick enough. I couldn't get back to them quick enough. So I just got blocked. So if you don't see people tonight, just you wondering why, it's because I couldn't get back to them quick enough. I live a life where I'm busy. I have a full-time job. I'm a software engineer. That's what I do full-time. In addition to that, I have a life outside of YouTube, people. And if I can't get back to you quick enough and you block me, that's on you. But don't be trying to put a bad name on my name. Don't do that, because I am very genuine. I show love to folks. And we have to realize people do have lives. That's one of the biggest things that, it is. So again, if you don't see people in this chat that was showing love, calling me sis and this and that, then just know that it's because that was their decision. Since I couldn't get back with them in a couple of days, I'm blocked. So just be aware. Pray for those folks. But if they talking slander against my name, when the evidence gets pulled up and you see what time it is, there's nothing going on there, because I am not a deceitful friend. I'm not any of that. I love peace. So that's why I'm thankful that y'all are here. Dynasty, I deal with that as well. If I don't get back to people, they take it personal. I literally have so much going on. That's what I'm saying. What? If you see me on Facebook, but I don't have a chance to talk to you yet, I just didn't have a chance to talk to you yet. I have to make time to call you, but I may be multitasking, doing different things. So that's what I'm saying. People are just so territorial. Stay in your lane. Yeah, Mona. Wow. We'll be talking. As I would say, been there, done that. Pray for the weak. Pray for the weak, because I ain't got all week to be dealing with these folks. I ain't got no time to be dealing with these people. And Successful Melanated Dusty said that happens to me as well. Yep. If they beefing with you, they doing all this, I don't participate in beef. Okay, unless it's on a bun. If not, I don't. Okay. Well, let me continue this, because the lady that I just played y'all the clip from that said young folks compete, she mentioned that a lot of women want to say that if they cutting somebody off, it's about self-care. And no, that's just called selfish care.
Many of these women are just so beat down that they can't be happy for anyone else. They can't really care about anyone else but themselves. But now what we're doing is we're calling it self-care journeys. And I do believe that you need to, engage in self-care, but I want to probably have to have that conversation another day.
Self-care. No, you should have took care of yourself before you got in these friendships and these relationships. And nobody comes into anything whole anyway, whether it's a friendship or a relationship. I think it's an excuse when folks want to say that they got out of something because of self-care, blah, blah, blah. They don't have any female friends because they care about themselves. Stop making up the excuses. If only we would come up with as many results as we did excuses that could really negate out those excuses, we would be better off. But to constantly blame other people for your personal problems, we need to put the prayers up. Like literally, we need to put the prayers up, because it is some inner issues that are going on. And we don't really see that, because they will hit you with that flattery that you desire, and then you think nothing's wrong with them, and they're calling you sis, they're doing that for transactional reasons. And then finally, when you don't do what they want you to do anymore, they cut you off. That's rude. That's disrespectful. And I pray I never have to deal with that anymore. That's why Michaela, my cousin, has said, you got to start with these people as associates first. Even Mona, we were talking about that as well. We said we start these folks at associate level. And then you get promoted from there. When I came in as a software engineer, associate level. Then I worked my way up to software engineer. And then I go to software engineer 2 and 3 and 4, blah, blah, blah. But you can't just start off at senior level when you didn't do senior things to get there. You can't be expecting to get promoted, then you want to go back to associate level 2. Keep that same energy, keep that same consistency. Then I won't have to be looking at you with the side eye. But we expect too much out of folks, like they are our man, they're our mother, they're our father, or something like that. We put too much on friends. We really need to know what friends are for, because I don't know how many of us have them. Okay, I don't know. The next thing this lady says is that whenever you do have a friendship that breaks up, don't be that type of person that wants to keep talking about them, like talking disrespectful and sharing all this news because you want attention.
When the friendship falls apart, I shouldn't say when, I should say if or when the friendship falls apart, they take that opportunity to tell everything they know. Everything they know. I've recently had a relationship fall apart. We weren't like besties or anything like that, and I don't know all this person's deep dark secrets, But when that person shared information with me, stuff like that, I would not share back, even though I think this person is is demon spawn, is a spawn of Satan. I'm not interested in sharing her personal business. And if she happens to be watching this, which she may or may not be, she knows exactly who I'm talking to. But I would not share her business out. You can't claim to be somebody's friend, but it's conditional. Well, everything's always conditional, but and then when the friendship breaks down, you want to go share people's business. I'm like, I don't get into that.
Be careful. Like Successful Melanated Dusty said, you have to be extremely careful of what you share with people. Please be careful. Please. I'm telling you, it's extremely nuanced. Nothing is cookie cutter, as it depends on the person and the situation. Sometimes you have to cut off, and sometimes you have to examine yourself. Exactly. It's not cookie cutter whatsoever. I'm telling you, that's why I'm just telling y'all what I've dealt with, but everybody has their own situations. Auntie Carolyn said, good topic, and thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I'm telling you, I'm dealing with it, and I want to share this with people because I would not be able to make as many episodes that I made about these topics if I didn't go through it. Just imagine if I didn't have 2 bad relationships to give y'all examples of what to look for, what not to look for, what I went through, why you shouldn't settle, things of that nature. I wouldn't be able to tell you if I never experienced. Just like I thought somebody was they played one position in my life, but they totally flipped and played for the opposite team. That's why I'm on here today to tell you why I think some black women can't get along, why I think that the sisterhood is really toxic. And if you want to participate, look at the terms and conditions. Look at the terms and conditions, please. Thank you so much, Mona. Mona is on her moderator duties, okay? She is not playing any games tonight. She is not playing any games. Thank you so much for that. All right. So again, if you deal with a woman who doesn't have any other female friends or no healthy family relationships, you're dealing with a woman who loves isolation, and she will cut you off in a heartbeat because obviously she doesn't have any real deal friendships or family relationships. It's sad. Next before I even get into this one, there is a clip I found where there's a such thing as a slow burn relationship or friendship, and a fast friendship. Let me tell you the difference. Slow burn, as I was mentioning earlier in the show, is when y'all get along, y'all don't have to talk every day, but y'all know what's going on. Y'all see each other on social media, you respond to each other, you love, your heart, you do all that stuff. But you don't have to be talking to them every second because you know we have lives outside of our friendship. That's a slow burn. I'll check in with you once a month. We get together to work out once a month. That's slow burn because it takes that slow and steady to be able to build something that can last a lifetime. Then you have the fast relationships where as soon as I meet you the first week, I'm telling you I love you, I'm calling you sis, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And it's really setting yourself up for a demise, a quick demise, because you're not built on a steady foundation, on a solid one. And shout out to Joe for being here as well. One thing I want to say is that I'll be on his show next Monday. We'll be talking about the prosperity gospel, femininity, and these pimp preachers. We'll be talking about all that. So I'll be making sure to put the link and do that announcement later on tonight. But definitely, we'll be talking about it. The femininity in the church. We'll talk about the prosperity gospel as well as these pimping preachers. All of that. We'll talk about the modern state of the church. Yes, we'll get into it. Shout out to my bro Dre. I definitely shouted you out earlier regarding your Donors Choice page or Donors Choose page. So definitely make sure y'all go out there and support Dre, and I'll be putting that up again while he's here. Check out this page here. I'll put the link up right now while I have the link to do so. But definitely support Dre because he is a teacher for 3rd through 5th graders, and he's basically helping these students get involved with podcasting at an early age. Support it. Donate what you can, if you can, because just know that when you give, it will be given back to you. All right. And yeah, like Dre said, I take that slow burn. Gotta have people who are doing things as I'm doing things so they don't get mad when I'm doing things. Ooh, I gotta say this again on the full screen. Brother, you have said a word. Okay? I take that slow burn. Gotta have people who doing things as I'm doing things so they don't get mad when I'm doing things. Why you gotta be mad at me because I want to do things in this lifetime, the only life that I have to live? Why? I got so much to give. Shout out to Barry White. It's gonna take years and years and years. Shout out to my old school folks out there. But for real, why you get mad at me because I'm doing things and you can be doing things as well so you wouldn't have to keep up with what I'm doing? Exactly. Oh, child. Help me. Yes, help me. Help me. Mona said, it takes time to establish and then sustain the solid friendships and relationships. Can we please get back to the genuine love and build each other up? And shout out to Camille for being here. Thank you so much for watching live. I appreciate you. Shout out to you from New Jersey. Okay, appreciate you. Thank you so much. And Dre said, wow, that's amazing, sis. Thank you for the support. Of course, brother. I appreciate all the women and the men over here that are doing positive things. We have to support that. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? All right. Can sisters rise? Hey. Hustler and Muscle said, I once had a female that I cut off and made the mistake of going back to her. You live and you learn. Yes, we do. And that's why I'm sharing those lessons with y'all tonight. And please make sure y'all hit that like button if you like what you hear, because definitely it's about growing over here. That's what we do spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically as well. We got to keep the bodies in shape holistically. Okay? We have to stop being catty and get back to genuine sisterhood because it wasn't so toxic when we weren't so catty. Exactly. My grandmother's friendships, they be on the phone for hours to this day, talking about consistent relationships, talking about content. They had things to talk about back then. They're not on these phones like we are now, where everything's at our disposal. Everything can be disposed. It's at our, right here in front of us. It's at our disposal, right? But the friendships back in the day, they get on the phones. They couldn't get off the phones because they'd be on the phone so long. That's the type of friendship I want. That's what I would like. But we got to get back to all that toxicness. And shout out to Isaiah for being here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. These women. So beware of the fast friendships. That's why I explained the fast friendship, because I want you to watch this video about a lady who has experienced that and what to look out for.
What I've learned from those situations is that a lot of times someone who's a fast friend, they're coming into your life because they want something from you. And I don't know what that is. You never know what it is. In one case, it could be access to information. It could be access to people. It could be access to experiences. You don't know what it might be, but those fast friendships are often friends who come in and they need something from you. They want something from you. And the minute you don't give them that anymore, or you can't give them that anymore, that's when the relationship will fall apart. And that's when they're like, oh, well, this isn't serving me, or this isn't like, a good friendship for me anymore. So I don't really need to be here.
Be careful of those talking about what's not serving me. You're no longer serving me because what? I'm not your therapist. I'm not on BetterHelp. I don't have my license in therapy. So you cannot be looking for me to be able to help you out with your issues, but you can't help me out with my issues. We can't guide each other. Why not? That's extremely transactional. Like she said, be careful of those who are so quick to build something up with you, because you never know what the motive is. We all have a motive, whether good or bad, but we all do. That's what we have to realize. And the sooner we realize that, the better we can be able to move when we know what's serving us or what's not serving us. Yes, the benefits. Right, they want to be the beneficiary. Basically, they're trying to just sign up real quick. Oh, let me sis and bro you to death so I can get my name on that as that beneficiary. Okay. Oh, they are temporary. They want you to be a temporary placeholder. That's a good point that you bring that up, because that's how it is. Rotating through friends. What can I get from them? Oh, they got these connections. They got this. It's the littlest thing that you may not think is something, like I mentioned before, but it could be something that's extremely really cool for that other person. You may have this connection that they're looking for, so they'll reach out to you solely for that connection. That's the worst. User friendly. Ooh, that's bars. Oh, that's bars right there. Dang. User friendly. Okay, that is bars. Y'all coming through. And shout out to my brother Chavis for tuning in as well. I'm telling you, these friends, and I call like I said, I'm gonna keep calling my people bro and sis, because I know what my intentions are. They are pure, but just be careful when people are Just constantly throwing that out to any and everybody. Because I knew people who basically were calling people bro and sis, and they be telling me smack about that bro and sis, and trying to figure out how to cut off that bro and sis, and then and still kissing they behind. I don't like that. I don't like that phony stuff. You want to come to me to ask me how to cut somebody off, but you still dealing with that somebody. Don't come to me to ask me about nobody else. Don't do that. It's so phony. You're too old to be doing that stuff. I be getting passionate with this because I'm going through it, because I know what kind of friend I am, and I don't want to be dealing with these phony folks no more. So beware. Stay in your lane, because I'd rather you be where you at now than try to get yourself promoted and then you going to end up being deleted from my life. Yes. Okay, there's brothers and sisters. Then there's Judas and Saul. Thank you. Oh, as all of your channels grow, right? Because we all got stuff going on. Shout out to the content creators out here. Put your YouTube channels in the chat. Mona, please put yours in the chat, because I support you, and that's when you continue to make sure everybody, you always show love to everybody. So please put your channel in the chat. Please do that now, because I need for folks to get the exposure they need. Because like Successful Melanated Dusty said, as all of your channels grow, beware of the vultures that will appear to gain your subscribers. Be careful, because we've been seeing that a lot. Successful Melanated Dusty, Mona, y'all know what I'm talking about, on these streets where you had these panels and whatnot, and people are beefing, and you thought people were cool, and now it's all this big battles going on. And at a certain age, you got to cut that stuff out. Yes, of course, Mona, thank you, because you genuine, you real, you do your thing on these streets. Like I said, subscribe to Mona's channel when she puts it in the chat. Anybody else, if you have channels, you got content, let us know. We'll put your info in the chat as well, because I'm about promoting positivity over here. If it's negativity, you're not going to see it on this channel. I'm trying to help better folks. We got work to do, because we're not grown over here. We are growing in the faith. Support one another. That's where it's at. Go at your own pace. Let the Lord lead, and don't get caught up in competition, and stop saying God told you to do this, God told you to do that, because we are so quick to want to be talking about God told me this, God told me that. Sometimes it's you, because you want to cut out God's voice. So know the difference between the two folks. They're talking about God told me this versus you told yourself that and said it was God. The devil is a lie. But you can be a lie too, because you over here talking about what God said. God said he didn't approve of that. But you want to listen to your own stuff. And also, Chavis, Mona will put your link in the chat, because only moderators can put their links in the chat. Unfortunately, I gotta disable that, but that's just something I do so the spam won't be coming in here, the bots. But for future reference, I will disable that, and I'll just have it on subscribers mode. But thank you so much. Check out Mona's channel here. Subscribe to her. She's doing her thing. Okay, she's going on live, I think, on Saturday, as well as Chavis's channel, because he'll be coming back on, but he has a lot of videos that you can watch now. And Mona is all about that motherly duties, wife duties. She's about that cooking life, okay? She be whipping it up in the kitchen, and she's about spreading the positivity and teaching us about how to be a woman, and teaching men how women think. And also teaching us how men think, because she be having some good content on there. She got a lot of people that come and support, so make sure y'all are one of them. And Chavis is going to be doing his thing as well, coming soon, having his panels and whatnot. And yeah, all that good stuff. And shout out to Jermaine. Please put his channel in the chat as well, because him and Nikki are doing their thing over there. He said, I don't do the YouTube beef thing. I don't either, brother. I don't.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Like, who gonna check me, because I'm not trying to be checked, because there's nothing to be checked on. He said, I just ain't got time for clicks in person, so I definitely don't rock with them online. The mobs, the this. Get y'all S together. Okay? I'm kind of getting mad right now. Because get y'all stuff together. Y'all beefing with people talking about y'all Christians, but y'all got all these separations and divisions. Y'all got more divisions than the dang Red Sea. I'm sick of that. Y'all beefing. Y'all got this. Y'all got this. You're talking about this one. You're complaining about that one. When are you never involved in some drama? Get y'all lives together. Y'all got too much time. Drama is taking up your whole life, and that's why y'all ain't got no time to do nothing else. If you focus on your career like you focus on the drama, you be more successful. Because I'm telling you, it's going to come to an end. Y'all are doing too much on these YouTube streets. And YouTube is looking at y'all. And atheists are looking at y'all. And any other religion other than Christians are looking at y'all and saying, y'all are some fools. Because y'all stay in so much drama. Y'all ain't preaching a word because y'all worry about who did this wrong or who did that wrong or who's a baby Christian and who's too young for this. Let me tell y'all, we all got work to do, because we are all sinners, just trying to sin a little less until we become sinless. That's it. We all have work to do. I sin. You sin. If you don't sin, okay. I sin. You sin. We all sin. So y'all need to pay attention to the fact that we ain't got time for too much beef on these YouTube streets. If we all competing, ain't nobody gonna get nowhere. You can't stay in your lane because you're staying in somebody else's lane. Get over before you get in an accident somewhere. Whew. I'm tired of it. I'm sorry. Yes, Diana, please drop your link as well. Mona will take care of it. Mona's knocking it out. I'm gonna get some more mods, but I'm choosy with my mods because some of these dang fools. I'm about to go there. Some of these dang fools don't know how to act right. So I'm choosy with I'm what's the word? Yeah, I'm choosy. You know, Ice Brother said choosy lover. Girl, I'm so proud of you. I'm saying choosy mods. I ain't got the time to be playing with these folks. I ain't even gonna rhyme tonight, but I was saying that I got certain people that's mods, and I will make sure that Mona takes care of all that. But I'm telling you, you have to be careful about who you give access to because they don't know what to do with it. Woo! Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Anyway, like, right, we got kingdom business to tend to. God, like, it doesn't work that way. You can know the Bible all you want, but if you're beefing with people constantly, God's people, then what do you expect to inherit? How is that going to balance out there? But to each his own. I'm going to keep it going because I know I'm over here talking forever, but I'm going to get back to it. Don't deal with women who are too old to be competing. I said it before. They said it already about the fact that these women are too old because young folks compete. They do that stuff in high school, but you have to throw away your childish ways. Stay away from the negative team and only deal with the positive team. That's the only way to be. Don't deal with toxic waste. Appreciate. Okay? Don't deal with toxic waste. Don't deal with it. Because some people are just too old to be competing. It's at a certain point in time where you have to grow up because you've thrown away those childish ways. The Bible talks about that. But some people are still living for the demise of others. If somebody isn't doing bad, then they don't know how to function. Can we function because of positivity over here? Not just negativity, but some positivity too. So don't deal with women who are always competing because of this. Psalm 55:21. Psalm 55:21 says the following. His talk is smooth as butter. Talk is smooth as butter, yet war is in his heart. His words are more soothing than oil, yet they are drawn swords. His talk is smooth as butter. Be careful of them smooth talkers. Like Sade said, smooth operator. You know, for real. Be careful of that smooth operator. Be careful of the one that's always talking good, but you can tell that they ain't feeling your accomplishments. They're not feeling anything if it ain't involving them. If they not winning with you, then they don't want to see you win by yourself. Be careful of that. These words. Pay attention to the actions, as they always say. Actions speak louder than words. Act like you can't hear them. Act like you deaf and just pay attention to the actions that you see. But a lot of people are doing the reverse. They're acting like they're Stevie Wonder to what they see. And then they're hearing everything that they think sounds good. And sounds good for them, and that's not enough. That's not enough. So again, focus on what you see and not what you hear. Because when you look at what you see, that's it. They're going to show you who they are. These friends, you have to be careful. Because these sisterhood circles, look at what happened to Shanquella Robinson, right? Look what happened to her. She was with her people she considered to be her sisters, her friends. And look at what happened when jealousy strikes, when envy strikes. Come on. And shout out to Maurice for being here. I appreciate you so much. I'm doing well. I'm doing well as best as I can because I'm just trying to be true to everybody that's watching. Try to be true to God. Try to be true to myself always. That's the only way to be. And I hope you're doing well as well. No toxicity, just positivity. And shout out to Mark for being here. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, but thank you so much for being here. Hit that like button on your way in. Hope you've been enjoying the convo. And that flattery is sus from someone you don't even know, who don't even know you. It's sus. Stay away from the flattery. And shout out to Dinah. Said, thanks for sharing, Mona, for the support, Chelsea and everyone. Appreciate the small community we have. Yes, exactly. We have a small community, but I pray that we're not the type that if somebody stops messing with this content creator that we're going to try to figure out which one we're going to rock with. You shouldn't be so easily influenced. Nobody should be easily influenced to keep picking sides. We got to pick sides. We all on YouTube. There's one side. At the end of the day, there may be people who do dark things on YouTube, but at the end of the day, stop being about where I'm going to be on team A or team B and just figure out who you are. You get what I'm saying? Figure out who you are and don't be so one-sided and canceling these people out because they said something about somebody you like. Realize that if you're going to do like that, stay in high school. Right, exactly. Grow up. Grow up. We're too old to be one-sided and be in these beefs and making all these YouTube videos for the sake of what accomplishment? What are we doing? We play in high school on YouTube now. Like, some of y'all didn't graduate. Some of y'all need to give y'all diplomas back to the high school because y'all not ready to be grown adults. Y'all are not. Last thing. I'm not dealing with women who use me as their therapist. Once again, because BetterHelp.com is out there. Literally, it is out there. There's so many other resources. I have my own therapist. I don't expect my friends to be my therapist because that's not the role you played in my life. And we are here to hear each other's issues. We're here to vent to one another, but just don't come to me on a transactional tip where you're just waiting for me to give you information and then you are doing whatever you want. You don't care. You don't want to use the information I gave you. That's another thing. Clicks are not of the Lord. They are really not. I'm on this click. Ain't nobody messing with my click, right? Just all these clicks we have and nothing's clicking up here to tell you that you don't have to be doing that no more. Leave the childish ways behind us. Exactly, brother. Exactly. It's a solid 10 or 15 of our channels that I really rock with. Exactly. There's some that I rock with as well. And I'm like, we just coming on here trying to do God's work. That's the consensus. Why are we worried about this person doing this and this person doing that? On YouTube, they getting a little bit more subscribers than me. They getting a little bit more likes than me. I'm not gonna be worried about that. God has all of us in the palm of His hands. God has us in the palm of His hands. We should not be worried. We should not have fear because at the end of the day, what's for us is for us. Be patient. Everybody's journey is not the same. Yeah, they are. I agree with that. Some channels are providing more harm than help. Christina said, the minute I see you're not participating in your own rescue, I'm out. Peace. That's it. It's up to you to do what you want to do for you. You can't expect somebody to come in and save a day. Should I save her? I want to be saved. I want to be saved. But it's up to you to save yourself sometimes. You can't expect us to come in and fill those roles because idle hands are the devil's workshop, the devil's playground. Be careful of those who are expecting you to contact them all day during the workday, all at night. Like, this is just, it's too much. It's too much to say the least, but I'm saying, like, just realize that people have time and they're doing things in life. They're not gonna worry about you being so consistent with them like y'all in a relationship. It's levels to it. Make sure you stay in your lane. I pray that y'all have great friendships in life with good women, because there's some good women out here. Some good black women, good women of all races. But I'm talking about the black women today because it seems like we have that most attitudes. We have this and we have that. And I'm trying to negate that because all of us are not the same. But at the end of the day, why can't black women get along? That was my question of the day. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But those are just some of the things I've dealt with. I've dealt with it. I can't figure these folks out, and you shouldn't either. And just imagine, man, if us women are going through problems with other women, then I understand sometimes that y'all be going through problems with us women as well. And that's why I try to call us women out, to be honest. Chavis said, who are my brothers? Those who do God's will are my mother's brothers and sisters. Exactly. That's how it's supposed to be. And Mark said, it is good to see women being positive together. Salute to you all. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes, us women, I see y'all in the chat. I appreciate y'all for being here. Even the men for supporting it as well. The last thing I want to play and talk about before I get off is the fact that women will cut other women off on a heartbeat, right? At a heartbeat. But they will not cut off these men who have shown signs of not being faithful. They'll give them 6,000 chances, but only give you one. Now that's fake and phony, so pay attention to that as well.
I just don't understand how you as my best friend can have a birthday dinner and not invite me.
It's because you don't like to split the bill fully. It's tax and tip.
Okay, but you know I'm good for it. Even if I don't have it, I'll send you the money within 3 weeks. Baby, you left your thong. You dropped it.
Ooh, workout gear.
Crazy. You know if I don't have the money, I'll send it to you. So I just don't understand how 25 years you can do that. Babe, your wallet, silly. Like, why would you do that? You guys had matching dresses. Y'all had lamb chops. You know I love lamb. Hubby, your phone. What do I have to give you everything?
I'm sorry, boo.
I don't care. 25 years our friendship is over. I'm done with you.
That's cool, because you're delusional. You didn't see...
See what? See you jealous of me and my man? I don't need fake friends around me. Just go.
Did y'all see that? Did y'all see that? This man has shown signs that he's literally cheating on his woman, whether it was the thongs that he had, that's about my thongs, oh, my exercise equipment, whatever he has said, whatever he said, oh, this, oh, that, all these excuses. Then you saw the name of the woman in his phone, and then you saw the condoms in the wallet, right? He said, oh yeah, this, that, while she's being blind to all the signs of the boy that, her quote unquote husband, I guess that's who it was in this skit. You see all the signs for him. You don't see those signs. But you said the fact that, I'm going to cut you off after 25 years of friendship for this one thing that I didn't like. But you see all these signs about this man and you say, I'm going to just stay with him. Okay. So that's delusion. That's delusion in that case, where you're loyal to a man who has proved to you, a man who has proved to you that he's unloyal to you. But you'll stay with him. But then there's women who may be loyal to you and you don't be loyal to them. So those are the cases where, that's delusion right there. So beware of that woman as well, because they out there. They will deal with the man, try to get back with the man, and act the fool for the man when the man ain't even loving them back. If you think you're lonely now, but the women don't want to be lonely sometimes. It's not even about being lonely. It's about the fact, be alone for a second if you're going to deal with that. But on the flip side, you disrespect every woman. Like your tolerance levels need to be tweaked a little bit. And shout out to Berean Babes for being here. I appreciate you. Happy Wednesday to you. Thank you so much for being here. Christina said that, unfortunately, was my auntie and her BFF since childhood. See, I have a best friend since kindergarten, and we've been rocking. We don't talk every day, but when we see each other, we have a great time. We go out to eat sometimes. And we always show each other support, right? And she's become like family. We don't have to check in every day. We check in every couple of weeks with each other to see how each other's doing, because we know that we are out here living and we're doing busy work. We're busy with our lives. That's just how it goes. And Chavis said, one of my wife's best friends switched up when she married me. Oh yeah, they'll do that. And I know any of the married people can say right there. I'm reading these comments, but I said, I know any married people in this chat can attest probably to the fact that a lot of people started acting fickle and phony as soon as they got married, right? Because they say weddings and funerals are the easiest ways for people to act stupid. They get silly, like they get silly real quick, especially with the funerals and the weddings. So that's unfortunate, for real. Like, dang, you can't be happy for me? That's how you know it's a problem. Marie said, I just look at life like it is what it is. I accept that people are who they are. I leave negativity alone. I love peace, and I'm going to have peace. Amen. I love that. All the way. Jermaine said, that woman cut off a whole Chelsea at the drop of a dime. Yeah, at the drop off a dime, right? Like, that's what happened. This is why I'm doing this episode, because people do be acting real silly, real stupid, and I pray for them. I can't figure out why they act the way they act. What did they want to get from me? It is what it is. I want to say too silly. Look, I be trying to have that humor. We have a good time over here. We laugh. Talking about God, talking about the things that we go through, any of the topics I talk about doesn't have to be all serious. I'm not going to just stare into the screen and just be all serious with y'all. Just let y'all know we can have a good time. We can laugh. Christians have fun, and Christians talk about relevant topics to the community. Amen? Amen. KL said, men are always wondering how women are so emotional and in denial. Guess we're not the only ones. Yeah. It's like everybody has some issues. We just got to figure out what those issues are. And when we recognize that, that's how we can have better relationship. Jermaine said, us and a lot of our single friends went separate ways naturally because they couldn't understand the married life. Exactly. And I tell people all the time is that sometimes you're going to have to cut these people off when you get married, especially if they're trying to live that single lifestyle and they're going to distract you from having a fruitful marriage. And laughter is good for the soul. I'm just like, some people act like they're allergic to laughter. Like, what is it? We can have a good time. Weddings, funerals, and liquor will have folks self-snitching. Yep, exactly. It ain't self-care. It's selfish care. These folks make excuses for everything. I don't deal with women because it's about self-care. Self-care. No, it's called selfish care. You about yourself, and you'll be about yourself for the rest of your life unless you get some cats and dogs. Anyway, again, just to recap, I've learned some lessons dealing with folks literally couple days ago that wanted to cut me off for whatever reason, but it's all good because that's just how I am. Y'all heard me last week anyway, where I was saying that when you cross me, it's a wrap. There's no looking back. That's the end of that. For real. So lessons learned. I'm not giving permanent titles to temporary people anymore because you don't deserve them. I don't demote, I delete. So please stay in your position and just stay there and be faithful at that position. And you'll be, like God said, if you bless with little, I'll bless you with more. He didn't say if you bless, like if you disrespect me with big, then I'm going to give you back to little again. Like it just doesn't work. If you are the CEO, stay in your CEO role. You don't want to be demoted to janitor, right? Just stay where you at, because no, I don't deal with demotion. I delete permanently because I don't have time for that. I just pray for you from a distance. And the types of female friendships I would no longer have. I'm not dealing with women who think they know it all, because those who trust in themselves are fools. Yes. I'm not dealing with women who don't have other female friends or no healthy family relationships. Why don't you figure that out first and then come to me later? Figure your life out first. Fix your life, like Ayala said. For real though. And then dealing with women who are too old to be competing, because I look to the older women to be wise. Titus 2:3-5 says that. I look to the older women for that advice because they've gone through life and they're a little bit more seasoned, right? But when I deal with an older woman that's acting like I did in my high school age, or maybe I never did in my life, because I'm not going to get into it tonight. But if you acting like a high schooler, or you acting like somebody in their early 20s, then you just need to stop. You need to stop. Too old for that. Too old. Be careful of people that's talking smooth like butter, because you got to see what's in the heart of man and not, what you hear out of their mouths. And lastly, I'm not about to be nobody's therapist, because they don't want to hear your advice. They'll cut you off for telling the truth. The truth hurts and they don't want to hear it. All right. So with that being the case, I'm going to read those comments. Marie said, I don't think the cats and dogs will want to deal with them. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Don't carry that dead weight. Won't do it. You're right about that. I dealt with that for a while. I'm moving on in 2023. The same folks who walk away will be forgiven, but my focus is on Jesus. Keep going, keep pushing, brother, because if we focus so much on the rear view, we'll never be able to get to our destination, right? GPS is God's positioning system, and he puts us in different places at different times for different reasons that we don't understand why, but we just got to keep persevering and keep moving forward. If that rear view was bigger, then we would focus more on that, but let's keep pushing ahead, because God has more for us than we may even think possible, all right? Shout out to Killer Swag 216, Cleveland represent. Yes, thank you so much for being here. And last but not least, Marie said, if you want to go, baby, go ahead and walk out the door. Okay? Exactly. I'm like, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. But the thing is that I'm gonna just that's the message. Fantasia said, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself, because I pray for it every day. God, remove some of these folks that is toxic, that ain't for me, that's a distraction from my purpose, because it's about the quality over the quantity. So I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's episode. Don't be delusional. Women can't be friends with other women, but you have to be discerning. You got to see what they own. You got to see what their lifestyle is about. Not just what they present themselves to be, but how they're living, okay? According to the standards that matter in friendship. They matter. But yeah, I appreciate y'all so much. I'm going to read these comments. Successful Melanated Dusty said it is good to see everyone respect each other on this live. Yeah, that's one thing. When you come over here, they come over here. Y'all know what time it is. I'm about respect. That's the biggest thing for me. I'm not beefing with people. I'm not going to say people's names, because I'm not doing that for likes, for clickbait, for this and that. It's about whoever shows up. You show up because you support. And I appreciate you, because you could have been anywhere, doing anything, with anybody. But you here rocking with Cece from Chelsea's Live Line. So thank you so much. God willing, I will be back, because it's bye to the haters, okay? He's about bye. But no, for real. Yes, I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for the support. And God willing, I'll be back. But before I get out of here, okay, couple announcements. I actually have my testimony. I'm giving my testimony in the capital MY, not nobody else's, but my own, this Friday at 5:30 EST on Daryl King's platform. So let me just type this in really quick into the chat so y'all can hear more about my testimony and hear about my journey in the faith, right? So that's why I'm going to put that in the chat really quick. That's the first thing. Got to do these announcements. All right. So this Friday, 5:30 p.m. EST, I will be on Daryl's show talking about how God has changed me and how he's continuing to change me. That's the first link. And then on Monday at 7 p.m. EST, I'm going to be on Joseph's channel, and we're going to be talking about basically the pimping, the prosperity gospel, and the feminism in the church. So let me put that link in the chat as well, and we can get this thing going. Yeah, we're talking about the feminism, the pimping, and the prosperity gospel, because there's too much going on in the church right now. So you can catch that at 7 p.m. EST on Monday. Put that in the chat. All right, that's my announcements, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Make sure y'all go celebrate Black History. Go donate to somebody. Specifically, go donate to Dre if you want to go support. I'll put the link in the chat one more time. We know we got to support each other, because if not us, then who, right? Appreciate it as always. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, and God willing, I will see y'all next week on Wednesday, or hopefully on Friday or Monday if you catch me on the show, for more episodes of Chelsea's Live Line. Thank you so much, Aunt Tracy, for being here. Thank you, Auntie Carolyn, Auntie Ebony, Chavis, Maurice, Mona, Dinah, Christina, Vina, Tia, my mom, Michaela. Like, shout out to all y'all, even Berean Babes, KL, Jesus loves you, Mark, Jermaine, who am I missing? So many other folks. King J. Sean, thank you so much. Successful Melanated Dusty, all of y'all, so many to name. Menelik, y'all are all in the chat doing y'all thing tonight. If I forgot somebody, please blame it on my heart. Please blame it on my mind, should I say, not my heart. But I'll see y'all next week, God willing, on Chelsea's Live Line.